Good afternoon, beloved hearts.
Happy summer winter solstice.
Happy Golden White Rose StarGate. So much love, so much love. I hope you can hear us. Let's check the volume, making sure all the sounds are loud. So let's see who's in the house. Join us. Hello, Doreen. Hello, Valerie.
Thank you for all that is that are joining us on this very powerful day. We're very grateful that we can be here of space, sacred honor, as our roses are now beautifully moving in all directions. I'm just very grateful that we can be
Hello,
here today.
Angela. Hi, Tanya.
Hello, Tanya. Hi, Angela.
Happy Friday tea time, everyone. To these golden, diamond, crystalline, cosmic hearts.
Beautiful love, light, and peace that is shining all over this world. It's such a beautiful, beautiful day that we can celebrate each other in this beautiful love that's shining all over. So thank you for being here.
Who is drinking rose tea today? Hi, Marsha. Good to see you.
Good to see
Bless
you, Marsha.
you.
Blessings to you. Thank you for joining us, Marsha.
So thank you so much. We don't know how many of you joined beforehand. Michael and I really felt we've been very active this morning with our meditation practice today, and both Michael and I had a lot of experiences we'll share with you, and also getting prepared for this morning, getting prepared for this before we really wanted to sit just as the solstice took place, which is that in the US East Coast time was at 11:54 a.m. So thank you so much for being in that silence. However way you also joined into that frequency, we're very, very grateful to you. There's such beautiful, Michael, here you can do it this way so we can see it fully. Is that better, sweetie? Hello, light of healing. Thank you so much. There's such a gift when we get to sit in that silence together. I love whatever opportunity gives us that we can just all under a day like this. That's so monumental to sit in here. But before we begin, there's so much we want to share.
And how beautiful I feel that we got to really officially for the first time begin tea time in silence, in meditation, and in time to really honor what has been moving through. So I thought it was very magical to be of presence with each other, with you, and just really feel what is moving through us as this Stargate has started, and as what's going to happen for the next 3 days, and what's moving through us is just an abundant amount of beautiful energy that we are open to receive. So it's so special that we can feel it and join it with you guys. And what I thought was so amazing is just really feel the energy as we embark on such a golden age, and to do that in a moment of silence.
Feel the presence of golden age.
Right.
We've been in the golden age for 7 years, and really experiencing the golden frequency. But before we get into quite a bit of details, how you all doing? Have you been sort of like bouncing around last couple of days? The frequencies have been so intense, and have you also had all kinds of opportunities that may present themselves, such as triggers coming to your frequency in the last couple of days, just to give you the gift of addressing them with the celebration of your golden rose? So,
have any of you been visited by spirit animals? Any energies been coming forward that have been reminding you of the magic that has been moving around? Because amongst all these energies and frequencies, it's always quite interesting of how the universe communicates to each of you and what is brought upon your path. What may seem simple, light, but unique, so many things have been starting to unfold, especially in our paths of what we've seen within our beautiful creatures and beautiful animals that have been right on our doorstep.
So let's see how you do. We're going to talk about that too. So Doreen, you said so much energy, been buzzing. Yes, many triggers, many blessings. Thank you indeed. And how were you with the triggers? Did they feel like triggers? Even they came up, were you able to, did you notice that you just address them very differently from your new octave. And Valerie says, feeling the frequency very strong in the solar plexus. Yes, for sure. For sure. I'll talk about my experience. Michael will talk about his experience. Angela, yes, so much growth. Yes. The latter, yes, it was quite magical days. Yes, definitely.
Hello,
Been interesting.
Denise.
Hello, Denise. Lots of growth moving from 3D to 5D. Yes, thank you, Denise, for joining us. Yes, these the last couple of days, a couple of funny things to share with you, because this is our Friday tea time. And let us know what tea you're drinking so we can share a few things with you. So let's start with there's so much there's so much to share. So the last couple of days, Michael and I have had a lot of overwhelming amount of sacred animal spirit visitations. So Michael was scheduled to be on Stellar's Mystery School as a guest speaker representing the Sacred Divine Masculine on Thursday.
Let's even go before that, when we were on the paddleboard, before that. And
we're going to go into this. So I just want Thursday because we have a couple of 2 weeks to cover it as well. So, and up to here, and what's significant, we're going to get all about the StarGate and what's so magical too. So Thursday, Michael had this 4 p.m. interview with Stellar, and Todd wasn't able to make it, Todd Medina. So Michael, they were both invited, but Michael was able to be as the guest speaker. So Stellar had shared with Michael if Honey wants to drop in. So I was like, okay, it's Michael's thing. Let him show. I'll be there to support the Sacred Divine Masculine.
The representation of the Sacred Divine Masculine to be on the air and to show the support for the women and to show what we are here for in this time period. So it was a beautiful gift. It was a great honor, and it's always interesting to see how the universe plays out the scene in time, in different ways, and how we chose to move through that with the grace and the flow of it all.
So that was on Wednesday.
Thursday.
No, it was Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Right. So let's share this. So in the morning, Michael and I, we've had a lot of rain here in Washington, D.C. So Wednesday, Michael and I went to paddleboard, and it was a little overcast. I said, Michael, it's a little cold, but maybe the sun will come. So we went paddleboard, and usually some of you have seen sun did come.
And it got warmer.
It did get warmer. And most of you know we get on the paddleboard and we shed quite a bit there. So as soon as we got on, we usually see at least one turtle. One at least turtle, and we know that is connected to Michael's father's energy. And it was so fascinating because as we were in the paddleboard, one turtle came, another turtle came, and then when we were paddling more, then this very big.
But before the very big turtle came, all of a sudden out of nowhere, Honey's like, she started talking about snakes, and meanwhile.
No. I said first. I said, Michael, I don't know why I'm having this heart palpitation. This heart palpitation is a lot.
But you did mention before we saw the big turtle, you mentioned something about, are there snakes here?
Yeah, I said, Michael, I wonder if there's snakes in the water. And so I just said that.
And so it was very interesting because it was just a thought, and she was getting all these
palpitations. And the next one, I said, oh my God, I've got this heart palpitation.
So we're paddling, and this was a beautiful day.
This is about a minute or two apart.
This was a very beautiful day because we like to paddle by the shore so we can see the clarity of the water. Today was a very special day because the water was so clear that in the shallow areas you could see the bottom. So as we're paddling by, this huge, it must have been,
very
2
big.
feet large, that it came up, and as it came up,
this turtle came up.
The turtle came up, and it bopped its nose up and went, and we were like, wow. And for us,
we thought it was a snake at first.
For us, when we see these animals, we're a little more different than the normal people, because it's a turtle. Like, wow, it's a turtle. It's a message, and we melt. We get so excited, and we just, Tanya, you've seen us in South Carolina. We saw a little baby turtle come, and we're very, very open to what the universe gives. So as we're as we saw the big turtle, all of a sudden we're paddling and we look to the shore, and for the very first time, so we've gone out hundreds of times, the very first time we see this big black snake
with a white tummy.
And as we're paddling, I'm like, honey, look at this snake. We look.
No, I looked. I said, is that a snake?
So we stopped and we're like, wow, not out of fear. We were just out of just complete
because I had just said it.
Right?
I had just said, is there a snake? And my heart was palpitating. And then the turtle went.
Right. So all of a sudden, for the very first time, we saw this snake glide across the water. And as it was gliding across the water, its head was up and its tongue was sticking out. And no joke, it was like streamlining directly toward our paddleboard. And honey was like, Michael. I'm like, it's okay. And I'm paddling. She's like, no, there's a snake.
No, because it was about 6 feet or 7 feet away. It was like, and then it just started coming, and I was like, and we were in the middle of water. I said, I didn't know what to do with that. It was just.
So I started paddling stronger.
Yeah, so I was like, we started paddling
together. And she was getting a little concerned, but I was like, wow, this is so interesting because I've never seen a snake there. And for me, I love all animals, and I'm conscious. I'm not just going to let some creature come in and harm us. So we're going, and then as I was paddling, I started to turn a little. The snake started to turn. It literally was following us. Honey's like, Michael, get to the shore. So
I started getting uncomfortable in the middle of water.
I start paddling, and just beelining. It's still out of excitement, turning the head. Wow.
And it was beautiful because it was sliding like so gorgeous, just chasing us until we started going way faster.
Then I turned all the way to the right, and then I just started paddling as hard as I can, and then it just kept going straight. We kept looking behind, like, wow, how interesting that not only did Honey have a couple palpitations before, and she just mentioned the snake, but a turtle. I don't know if you guys have ever heard a turtle hiss
like a snake.
For a turtle to come up and hiss, then to see the snake come out, we were completely just like surprised. And we know that not all snakes are poisonous, not all snakes are bad, and even metaphorically.
But we know it was such a sacred gift because again, it was the mother serpent energy. It was the medicine of this great mother serpent. This literally is the cosmic serpent that has that gold frequency. It does tie into the StarGate anyway. So
and it ties into the gate of transformation.
That's
because
right.
No bigger of a sign of transformation. Mother serpent reflecting the earth element, and seeing how when this snake comes and goes, I love how even when we look at the earth, we look at the teenager, there is that kind of like overwhelming, palpating, like scare, because a lot of times snakes we look at when we first learn about them of like they're bad animals or poisons, they're going to come and get you. But this one was so beautiful, the way it was slithering and the way it had a white belly. And it was like gliding across the water for the first time.
The head was out and the body. Yeah. So we turned around and we went for a little bit more and we came back and just different sounds of the nature and a few more turtles. We came back, and so that was and a few other things happened on Wednesday.
So when we paddled back, we saw this beautiful deer. This deer was sitting there. Wow, look at we saw a snake, we saw a turtle, we saw a deer.
Red cardinals
came across, and we're just aware. I mean, yes, being in nature, there's animals, but you ever know when you're in nature? Thank you, Valerie, for sharing. When you're in meditation, when you're in nature, how just those signs are very prolific. You really see how they touch you.
Yes, and there's a deeper communication because coming into yesterday was a very busy day because we're getting everything ready. We had to send the email out and everything, getting ready for our big event tomorrow, and also getting ready for today as well as yesterday, my son's birthday, my younger son turning 16. So just a whole lot happening.
And then
and then also between some of you that have been following this Mr. Mehbudi, the Persian poet from Spirit Side that made contact since the last Friday tea time,
Right.
Ascension time. We've had so much has unfolded with him.
And then yesterday morning,
Yesterday
I go, and he's like, well, where's the credit card that I was using? So I'll go down to my car and get it. So I went down to the car, and I come up, and right on our front door, those that have Facebook that saw this
Take a bigger
beautiful, I thought it was a butterfly at first, but now I corrected through beautiful people that have acknowledged it. It was this moth with the wings spread, and it was. And if you look
on
at
our
it,
door.
if you look at the center of it, it almost looks like a fox. If you look at the side of it, I don't know if you can see, but it almost looks like a snake along the edges. Because when I posted, people are like, I see a fox, I see a snake. Either way, this beautiful creature was literally on our door the whole day.
Yeah, so you can see
the whole night, even to the point of the.
Oh, it stayed all night.
All night.
Till this morning. It came home.
And we're sitting there, and it was so powerful because when we came and we looked at it, the wings were flapping, and then we just gently placed our hands when it touched. And he's like, "We'll bring it in. We invite it in." I said, "Honey, I would love to bring it in. I just don't know if it's going to flap around." He said, "Well, no, bring it in because Honey loves to bring in every animal, every insect, every creature." If you can imagine Ace Ventura Pet Detective that wants to live in our place, she wants to invite them in. Which, you know what? I've never met anyone that has the kindest heart that wants to bring in these creatures in. For me, I know our ecosystem's not always set up to it. So I say, honey, if we move it, she's like, so
he talks me out of it.
I talk her out of it because I just don't want the creatures to go through. So as soon as like honey goes, well, just leave the door open. I'm like, okay, I'll leave the door open. If the beautiful creature wants to come in, the beautiful moth butterfly wants to come in, we'll allow it to come in.
But so we knew right away. There's again the other message: transformation. Because the wings,
our door,
like literally on our door. I was like, oh my goodness, Michael, look what we've been blessed. It's my son's birthday. It's also the
wings are expanding. Transformation in the door.
Exactly, and there's the metaphor of the door. I was like, wow, I posted the video yesterday. You open the door, you come in. What does that mean? The butterfly comes at the door, like open the door. Clearly, spirits around telling us, open the door. It's there, and like. And this is what today is all about. Today is the StarGate. Here is the Golden White. I'll get into it because I'm about to get super excited talking about it because that's exactly what we're here together. It's this doorway, and our wings have to be open to go through this door that is here for us. Yeah.
So literally. Honey leaves to go and take some errands. And no joke, I would say 30 seconds later.
I said, leave the door open so that he'll come in.
Right. So 30 seconds later, I get a phone call, and then Honey calls me.
I said, Michael, come down here. We have to help this bird. So
how did you see it first? You were driving. And
so as soon as I drove, I came out. I see this bird flying backwards and flying out. So of course, I leave the car middle of the road.
Door open.
Door open. I come out. I'm like, darling, what happened? So this little tiny bird, let me show you the picture too.
It's hopping around.
It's hopping, but it's not hopping. It's flying. You can tell the wing, something's happened. So, so as it came down, I said, I'm going to help you. I was like, please let me help you. So I got closer, and it kept making eye contact with me. I do have a special relations with bird. I had birds, and somehow I can communicate with birds. And some of you have seen my post from a few years ago where a hawk was in a tree, was stuck, and I just like climbed up the tree. I can't help myself. The second I see it, I go into that place, and I have to do what I have to do.
She calls me up. And of course I thought she was going to ask me, has the moth flown in? Is it sacred? She's like, Mike.
So here's the bird. She's like,
Michael, come down here. We need to help this bird. So of course, most people don't get these phone calls in the past. Right after. So I was like, okay, bird, help.
Here, look. So I I was like, please let me help you. And I was talking to the angels.
Thinking, she's like, we have to take this bird into our house and help.
No. But before that, while Michael was coming, I was talking to the bird. I was like, listen, I said, the angels are here. Everybody's here. Let me just put my hands on you. You'll be getting help. Like, let me just do my part. And I saw its head turn towards me, and it just relaxed enough, and it didn't move. as I brought my hands, it let me pet it. It let me pet it. I said, I love you. You're supported by love. Whatever you need to do, you need to do. Let me refer to why this is important, because that time where the hawk was this hawk was stuck on the tree. Its neck was between the branch and its eye was taken out and it was bleeding. And when I climbed up, my former spouse, and because like, mommy, don't. And I had to. When I went up there, I looked at its one eye and directly communicated. I said, I'm here to help. Will you please let me help you? And I feel this is very important when we see animals. You have to ask permission because they're also souls. You don't just go yourself. So if they give you permission, they relax into it. And that hawk that day relaxed into it as well, that I was able to get it down on the floor, and I put a towel around it and I wrapped it. And that's when I heard Archangel Azrael came and said, Archangel said, you will help it transition. And it was so powerful. I was shaking and I could feel all the gifts. And I heard from the spirit realm that the hawk medicine was here to pass on the wisdom of the hawk to me. So I learned there's something special with the birds and the winged ones I have, that like I can communicate, and there's a direct communication back. And I feel that's with any of us, when we can really see no difference between the presence that is shown and there's a direct communication. So yesterday, as I put it, I put it for a while, and then Michael, I was like, let's take it. Of course, I usually get into this space where it's more my inner child, like, Michael, let's take this one home. And Michael always talks me out of it. He always talks me out of it. And I get so upset. I get really upset.
It's the voice of reason. I'm like,
okay, I hate voice of reason.
It's the voice of reason. I said, okay, honey, we'll put it in a little. I had a little heart-shaped bowl. I said, honey, we'll put it in a little heart-shaped bowl and we'll take it back. I say, yes, we can do it, but I also am aware that...
No, you didn't say it. So we had to release it back to nature, but put it at least in a safe place.
I said, let's get to the truth. Yeah. I said, okay, we'll put it into the bowl and we'll see what we can have. I didn't say we can't take it. Every time that honey...
We can't have a bird in the house.
Well, I just thought a bird with a flying wing flying around the house.
But so you have to see the way the wing was flying.
So once honey had it, I had the bowl. And I said, okay, let's put it into the bowl and then we can take it back. And then right when honey tried to put it into the bowl, it kept flying up. So obviously the whole goal of it was to allow us to move it into the woods.
Right.
It was another injured one. So, I'm open for creatures, but I'm also aware.
But the bigger message was that, again, here's another winged one, and I feel this one represented, however, where your wings were broken, you're still free. Mm-hmm. You can still spread them. You can still fly. And I really took that message into my heart. And like this, again, it was right after this majestic moth and then this one. So it's just like at a core coming in, get ready. You're getting ready to fly. And I knew, again, here, it has to do with this summer solstice, this Golden White Rose StarGate that we are in. And again, so many of us have been that injured bird, that injured weak. We've been looking for a shelter like this moth, like we've been wanting to just rest somewhere and really be with our tribe. I feel like for me, for years, I felt like, where's my tribe? Where are my people? Why do I feel so isolated and alone? Till I found so many. And of course, I've continuously said thank you and gratitude to Facebook, to YouTube, to, social media, because every day I look at it as my community. I turn it on because community, the light tribe, the wing tribe, the bird tribe, we're all together. And that's what resonates such truth to me. I like when we set this up, it's from such an excitement of love. Wow, we're together. Like this energy together, doesn't matter where we are, but we're together. This time, space means nothing because we're together. We get to come in real time right now with each other, wherever we are, and nothing separates us. And that's what I have so much value for. And that's how I use this platform, just to connect us as like the earth crew, because we really are the missionaries, the ambassadors of light, the emissaries of light on earth. And it is through our love tribe, and it is through our wings that are spread wide. We are living our purpose. We're being our true selves. We're not hiding any part of ourselves, and we're uniting as one.
And the beautiful thing about the wings were this morning when we woke up, we noticed the moth, beautiful butterfly, was on its side. So it's finally, it's like we're bringing it in. So
no, it was on the floor.
It was on the floor. So Honey brought it in, and then we wanted to put it on the tree, and then it started flapping its wings and started flying. So once it went on the floor, I placed my hand out, and it just sat on my hand for a little while. And it was so cute.
It was so beautiful.
It was so cute because it sat on my hand for a little while, and I was like, let's see if we can put it on the tree. Because Honey just says, just bring them all, put in the tree. It'll look really nice in the tree. It'll have a home. So, of course, we tried to place in the tree. And it started flapping, and then it flew to our screen and tried to get outside. I said, Honey, it wants to go outside. I said, I don't want to cage anything that doesn't want to be here. So I said, Honey, can we place it outside? She said, yes, let's place it out. Maybe one of our plants. So we got it, placed it outside, and then all of a sudden it just took flight. And it went to the wind. It flew off. It flew into the tree. And it was just beautiful. And what Honey's analogy was, because it flew out into the wind. The wind blew it back and forth, and it just took flight. It took spirit of its own. And I just feel today, in the transformations that are moving through all of us, it's asking us, our spirit, to take flight, to expand our wings, to fly into the unknown, and allow ourselves to trust what's coming forward, because there's so many beautiful things that are happening. And as these winged creatures are showing us, they're giving us the example, the experience that now we are here to expand, we are here to grow, and most important, we're here to transform into our highest expression. So we couldn't be more thankful and grateful for
the animals, guides.
And we see also, I just want to connect because I saw a couple individuals. Megan, you said you found a black feather at your doorway this morning and saw a huge orange butterfly.
Wow.
Beautiful, because the butterfly or moth we saw, we've never seen that color. And actually this morning when I went out to check on the butterfly, which was there first thing in the morning, there were 2 other moths on the wall, which made 3. And I thought that was interesting to see that there was for the ratio itself. And then Valerie said, pine trees gifted with 12 pine cones on the ground yesterday. And during my walking meditation, I saw the 13th pine cone had dropped.
Beautiful. That's so significant for today. We'll talk about that number specifically, 12 and the 13.
Exactly. Higher Heart Beetle visited us a few mornings ago.
Nice.
Beetle, wow, they're very powerful. Very, very powerful. Marsha, the June bug here this morning, swimming in a flower pot, had to rescue him. Monarch butterflies flying around, birds singing to that. Yes, isn't it amazing, Marsha, when you can be in the radiance of it all and just feel the presence energy with what's coming. So.
And Marsha, we got your email. We're so equally excited to see you, sister.
Thank you for
so honored. We cannot wait.
Thank you for honoring your family and prioritizing your own well-being, and most important, the opportunity for we can connect heart to heart. Thank you.
Cannot wait. So, it's so interesting because Michael and I have been very busy preparing for tomorrow's our event. That is really around this StarGate. So if I may, I'd like to get into this space a little bit about what makes today so significant, and why is it that there's this, of course, every solstice, there's a huge gathering all around Earth that is celebrated. And but this particular one is really through our time in this 7 billion people on the planet, during this 7-year from 2012 to 2019 period, it was told before by Galactic Federation, by intergalactic councils, by the councils of light, that there will be a 7-year period of adjustment before we can really officially, those of us who are part of bringing the golden age through, really, we have to go through this 7 years process of full transformation, just like the butterfly. So then we can, from 2019, we wrap it up. mm, because 2020 becomes the official sort of like the not the new era, but the truly the rise of us Christed beings, the crystalline being. So that's why it's very metaphor, butterflies and moths, because we've had to go through this metamorphosis space this 7 years. 7 years we've had to go through our 7 cycles. We've had to go through the 7 octaves within ourselves. We've had to go through search. We've had to visit the 7 layers, 7 bodies, get so deep so we can get into this golden sacred heart, which is the carrier of the petals of this golden rose. The golden white rose represents the alchemy, a state of alchemized place. This is all that I'm going to talk about also tomorrow at our event, which I'm glad you get to experience it here first. Because that alchemized state, it is where the sacred divine feminine, sacred divine masculine has merged, and it is the golden frequency come in through the purity frequency, and then is anchored in. And it cannot happen until you've gone through the 7 years of purification and transformation, transcendence, and transfiguration. You cannot then this light body, it cannot fully be anchored in its crystalline divine blueprint until these debris have sort of like washed out of us. So what makes today very significant, because there's been this, we're inside a 144-year cycle, 72 years this way, 72 years that way, and we are exactly in the center of that alignment today. This StarGate that happened at 11:50, about 30 minutes ago, was the alignment of our golden, crystalline, cosmic, Christed rose. Literally that rose. That open, these 33 petals have to be open in its truly unconditional love to connect to the 1,000 petals of this golden liquid frequency here, to then open up to our Helios Vestas, this sun. Then it connects to the central sun, it connects to the galactic sun, and the only way it happens, because this sun has had to be in this 1 degree, and that's what places us between this 72-year cycle, from 72 years ago to the next 72 years, which marks this 144 years. And this 144 years, again, is another reminder, part of the 144,000 that chose to incarnate to be the embodiment of the crystalline Christed frequency. So today is the alignment center of the crystalline golden white rose, and many others, like our dear sacred sister Amrita, and also Amanda Lawrence, and some of my friend Noel.
Ivana in Australia.
Right, there's so many. They're in Glastonbury today, and there are people all over the board place, and just really the ones that are tuned in to this frequency, we're bringing it in. And what's key is, for us here in Washington, D.C., we're working specifically with the grid line that is from Stonehenge. That's where I'm really focused majority. So from Stonehenge coming down, that it hits U.S., so it goes through Boston, New York, Philadelphia, coming down Washington, D.C., goes down towards the Carolinas, and then Atlanta, all the way down to Mexico. We are placed there, and specifically we'll be working with this because there's specific grid, this specific grid line. This one is called the Arcadia grid line. This specific one is very important because it has to do with Atlantis. It has to do from this side and the other side of it that connects from, which is also the Rose Dragon line. And from here, there's one that connects all the way to Alaska. There's there's so much that happens, but let me calm down a little bit. From Glastonbury and from Stonehenge, it heads down all the way to south of France, then heads down straight to Egypt. Why this is important? Because what we know from these areas, there are all these energies from Atlantis that we have had to reincarnate, come back to bring the true crystalline frequency of this 12 DNA that was in its full intact. So as that has become, it's shifted from carbon to crystalline, we are able to anchor it, and we have to anchor it in these specific grid lines. And those of us who are in a union, in a purified state, to allow this frequency to come in, because this frequency ties into this 33 degrees. There are 12 petals that are 33 degrees each. Valerie, I feel you appreciate that. And that's where we're broadcasting this. And it happened to be on the specific ley line that many of the Freemasons had built their temples. So we are bringing the purification of the sacred divine feminine, sacred divine masculine, the pure rose, so the golden white rose, to sort of dismantle the old programming conditioning there. So there's such a bigger picture behind this, and that's what excites us. And
each of us, what's very magical about that, thank you, honey. It's very informative to understand this, because I feel each of us are placed exactly where we need to be on these grid lines. Because when you look at the whole world, if you can imagine a body with acupuncture points, the whole world has these ley lines that connect. And as these ley lines interfuse, it's so amazing that there's these power points, there's these vortexes, there's these energies that are in some very beautiful natural places that we can easily go into in our own meditation, in our own light, and feel what is being called through that energy, that exchange that's happening on these very powerful dates. Like, especially within this morning when we go into prayer.
But 1 second before, because I want you to talk about it. Let me just add just one more point. So these natural power places, because when they cross with each other, there are certain rings within them that creates this pulse going out. So and this has to do with the magnetic resonance, and there's a natural cymatic sound vibration, but powers that did not want humanity to have its own natural divinity have sort of hijacked and controlled this, that majority of you already know. We don't need to get into that. So those of us that know, we are bringing our vibration. So when this tutorial field in us is vibrating, and when we are able to, for example, today, visualize the golden white rose inside. Like today, I get to experience all my 12 chakras being the golden, like from, it was actually interesting because I want you to talk about your experience. From the center of Mother Earth, I saw it as her bud, and each of my chakras, I saw this golden white rose had open like this. So the top had fully open, where the tutorial field was vibrating around me. Why this is important? Because once you're in this vibration, you're allowing that vibration to vibrate through the 33 petals. It's vibrating naturally through your heart. You don't have to do anything other than remain in your golden crystalline diamond heart. And for today, golden rose, this white rose heart, it will do it, and your presence will shift the frequency that had been broadcast out through the dark programming and spells and magic and power, all of those. So and of course, if you have a crystal that you can really program with this, so it can synchronize truly with you, we recommend if you can get for today, a quartz would be really, really wonderful. Also, a citrine would be great, a light citrine. Also, a topaz would also be really wonderful, a lighter topaz, where you can just really tune into it and bury it into the ground and ask it to connect to Gaia's fifth dimensional frequency, the Christed frequency, which is both the feminine and the masculine Christ. It's the crystalline structure. This is very, very important. And I'll get into details later, so you can share.
It was powerful because
Let me try
each morning, Honey and I, we do our meditations and prayer separately. But today, because Honey had her children over, we both did it together in the same room. And when I went into my prayer this morning, it was really phenomenal because today, specifically when I met my guides and the masters, they were all holding a beautiful white rose. But what was really interesting is when we were sitting there, we've had this very windy.
How were they? But just don't say that. Like, were they around you in a circle? How was it? Did each one come and greet you?
Each one. Well, usually when I see them, I see them individually because I have this space that I meet them in. And each one were holding a rose.
They were just holding.
They were holding it.
And was it a white rose?
White rose, yes.
A white rose.
It was a white rose.
Nice.
And so it was really powerful because as the sun was coming in, we had a very cloudy, blustery day, and it was interesting when we woke up this morning. It was very not dark, but just
overcast,
omniscient, very you almost like it was going to rain, but it was cloudy. But then the sun actually started to peek in, and each time that the sun started to come in, there was this flash of light. So as I was sitting there, all of a sudden, when I reached the masters and I went through my first 15-20 minutes, then I felt this golden light come directly through me. And it was, I mean, if you ever looked at the strands of DNA, it was like this web of rays that were coming right through. And as it was coming through as in a diamond shape. In that diamond shape that was coming right through, then there was almost like a triangle diamond portal that kept moving closer, 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 closer. As I was going into that, for the very first time ever, I went into this portal. I felt all this golden energy, and then it showed me the planet of Earth. The Earth was sitting there with this huge white rose in the center of Earth, with white light coming directly into it, and then pulsing out like a pulse. And it was moving out, and of course, I was just sitting there, just feeling this vibration, this beautiful, loving sensation as the transmitter moving through. And it must have been, and then at that point, I let go of what my normal plan of meeting through the directions, the elements, the ancestors, the orders, and the guides. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit with this energy that's moving through, because I knew it was a powerful activation. As the activation was happening, then all of a sudden, this beautiful, beautiful blue goddess comes before me.
What color blue?
Like this blue.
Okay.
That's why we're blue. But imagine this blue, like shiny, and this shows no really. It's just a blue, but it was like a blue.
Wow.
And she came forth and introduced her name as Zenith. I was like, Zenith.
If any of you know Zenith, the goddess,
Zenith, but she introduced to me because when she introduced, it was more of a visual at first, and the visual when I saw her, as we know, there's that telepathic communication. And when I first saw her, all of a sudden, I saw within my heart the rose petals, and then the rose petals opening and opening and opening. And she said, I'm here to be one of your guides to remind you, and I feel this is a message for all of us, as we open our petals of heart, those are the mysteries of the heart, our codes, our essence that's now being revealed. And as I was sitting there, I could just feel this euphoric, ecstatic feeling growing in my heart and expanding, and excitement is like, wow. And we know this, but yet when messages come that clear, and when that energy reminds us in a way to share with others, because we know that all of us have this ability to connect within to the gods, spirits that want to communicate with us. And it was just extremely magical because I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to just feel each petal open, And as it was opening, I could feel my heart expand, and the light around the earth expand. So, and when I came out of it, it was almost like coming out of like a hallucinogenic experience because I was so altered.
Your eyes were so like this.
I was like when Honey saw me, I was just sitting there. And I'm like, wow, what an experience! Just to remind us, and the clear message was for me is there's so much in the heart that the deeper we open and expand in the rose petals and the golden frequencies that's shining through, it is naturally going to reveal ourselves. And I'm aware that many of us within our heart space, because it's blocked with pain, blocked with suffering, blocked with stress, anxiety, worry, fear, that this sometimes our distractions are not to allow this opening, not to create the level.
Actually, it's so beautiful. There's so much beautiful things you shared in the Michael. Two things. I just this one and I go through the other one. When we go through like these 7 years, we have courageously been opening our hearts. But what happens? We've had to face all the debris of all the blockages around the heart first to then experience the space of the freedom of the heart. So a lot of people don't want to go near the heart because they first experience all the pain, all that stuff, literally like barbed wires, walls, everything that's been around the heart that has to move. So you have to address it, see it. That's why this 7-year period has been so important part of our transformation, transcendence. The other part is this golden rose as the inside earth. This is very important. It does tie into the crystalline diamond heart of Gaia. That's her fifth dimensional frequency. We can't even call her Mother Earth anymore because she's transcended into her new state. She is Sophia. She is Gaia. Gaia is her fifth dimensional name. It's not Earth anymore because Earth was also created based on the faulty flower of life before. That's been hijacked. So we're all bringing all the new ones to expand the true frequency of the original sacred geometry, which is all cymatics, which is all the proper sound vibration, and it's not anti prism, it's full prism. Because if you know anti prism, it hits and it goes down. Like for example, that picture of Pink Floyd album where it hits the prism, it's very specific. That light goes the other way, anti prism, which also communicates around the programming conditioning in the musical industry that's been, again, hijacked by the powers of the creating the sound frequencies through, so that we're in disharmony with the natural state. Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
And it's interesting you said about the prism because when that pyramid started, it was interesting. As I went through it, it took me to a phase where when this golden light was coming through, all of the rays of lights and all the colors went like that.
That's right. That's what it does. It doesn't bend because
it doesn't bend. It comes through and expands outward. So it was amazing because I was sitting there, and then it's weird hard because it's 3-dimensional. So it was like I was there, but then all of a sudden I wasn't there because then all of a sudden there was the pyramid, and then all the colors coming through as if I were all of the colors.
That's exactly what it is.
It's like it transformed into me
being the transformer.
Being the transformer of the experience that was happening, because before you know it, you're just a witness of what's coming through, and then you're just feeling the energy as the visual is coming before our, I want to call it our 3D, but our human experience that's witnessing it within this galactic nature. And it was so powerful because it felt like as that was happening, the whole world was being ignited.
Yes.
And as it was being ignited, all I could feel from the great invocation was, peace, heaven, light on earth. Peace, heaven, light, love on earth. And it kept just radiating out, like as the Tortoise coming out. And I can't tell you that I I just wanted to sit in that
More
for like
longer.
hours.
Yeah.
Because as that was moving through,
Well, that's the true natural state, Michael, because these when we see these colors coming in, these colors are in the heart and mind of divine, and it is the spectrum of the light. And they're more pastel colors, and they start coming in when they come through us. They come through our different bodies, the 7 bodies. They come in through, and when they connect in here, they literally go out in these rainbow colors. That's what we are, the rainbow being. That full range is within every cell of ours in this light spectrum. In the negative ions is filled with this spectrum, and there's so much more around us. The other part of it I wanted to say, which channel was it that I was in that when you were doing the work? I mean, it talked about the earth energy. She's now the unity flower. Don't call her the flower of life. It's the unity, because it
was the mother of all creation.
The mother of all creations.
You want to plug in the battery on our computer?
Which one? Oh, okay.
When I was working on HoniB.
What was it? The mother of all creation? Because I feel there's something significant to share about this.
There's many times when I'm doing healing work on HoniB, and then all of a sudden she'll drop into a channel, and this time was the mother of all creation came in and spoke about creation and how we are like how the sound of the wave is the embarkment of how we come into the fetus. And it was a very, very elaborate metaphoric way of looking at our creation beyond our biological mental way of what we've learned here on this earth. And it was powerful because I remember when you came out of it, you were like, oh my gosh.
No, because the mother of all creation, when I was in that trance state, what was being shown to me was, again, it was showing not the flower of light, the unity flower, which was crystalline diamond. That is the center of Gaia that is connected to these ley lines, but these are the unity Christ consciousness ley line that was ignited in my physical body. So it showed me how it ignited, and it has to do with this unity flower. The unity flower is considered the rose. Why? Because it is this 33 vibration is in here. So why? Again, it has to do with the golden ratio. It has to do with the first petal. Then it has to do with the second petals come out. Then it has to do with the 3, 5, 8, 13, 21 that represents this perfect golden ratio. Like tomorrow when we're going to have our event, we're going to do a specific movement with the humans to create the human energetic magnetic field of the golden white rose. So that way, and there's a specific sound individuals will make it. So we're rotating and creating the energetic fields of this for it to go out. And Valerie, that 33 becomes very important. And again, if you look at the Freemasonry has been 33, it didn't start out this way because they know why that 33 is important. That spoke wheel that has 12, each of them are 33 degrees. It's very specific. So the ancient cultures knew the power of this, because within that is also where the cymatic sounds are. But again, once the knowledge was got into the hands of those that wanted to dominate, control, then that's also what they did with this very natural, beautiful, sacred, divine nature. And that 33 is important. And so it's like we're giving opportunity to bring in the purity to these areas again, and through this 33 degrees, that, yeah.
And one thing that I love how you say is we're bringing in that purity into us. And I know a lot and many individuals, we see it on Facebook, during these times, there's a lot coming up for us. And I really have seen, being with HoniB, going through these gateways, of how important it is not only to honor what's coming up with it, but to really give thanks and gratitude of all the energies that are being cleansed, because many times, it's normal when pain, emotional, old beliefs, conditions are being washed away, and even what we see on a larger scale, past life energies that are moving through and are being cleansed on such a high frequency that it overwhelms us. And so this is such an important time to really take that time to nourish, take that time to honor, take the time to really respect yourself, whether it's being in nature, whether it's just doing very soft things, because these days are so important just to be a witness of what's happening, so that we're not judging, we're not going into personalization, we're not giving the power away to energies that are just cleansing and clearing and releasing the debris from us. And so I find that in today's welcome everything that comes in, the sadness, the anger, the pain, the anxiousness, whatever triggers come up. Just imagine, even yesterday when we met with Honey's mom and something happened, and I told Honey, I was like, Honey, isn't it amazing that the universe in these next 3 days is literally looking at every reaction we are going through? And I turned to Honey and I said, Honey, what your mom did on most days in the past would trigger you, which it was merely over food, nothing more, nothing less. And I was like, how beautiful is it that your reaction was like
my response.
The response didn't have that charge. It didn't pull you in to old patterns. Point being is,
and neither did with Nevon's father yesterday, because we had Nevon's birthday and all this stuff, and I was around a lot of this other energy, but I laughed through it.
And so point being is, what I'm saying to each of you beautiful hearts is,
I did well yesterday.
Exactly.
I did so well yesterday. I deserve that kiss.
And you guys,
kiss from the universe.
You guys
all of you
deserve kisses.
If you did really well.
So what I'm saying is, it's almost like, not almost, it is, imagine there is a huge witness within the whole universe watching what's going to happen today, tomorrow, and Sunday, and just step back when those old patterns, those old emotions, those friends that just want to get the best of you, and say, oh, there it is, it's coming forward, it's coming to be cleansed, and then you can just take that pause and say, wait a minute, now is my time to now transform that with a new belief, a new pattern, a new feeling of love that's coming through us.
It is the software, because we went through this 7 years, and here it is, this midpoint till we get to the December 12/12 this year, which would be very significant. Now, what's so amazing is that through this 7 year, all the different bodies going through their transformation, transfiguration, transcendence, and all the trance you want to call it, because that trance literally allows us to step beyond time, space, reality, so that way we can access the higher aspect of ourselves, the multiple dimensional aspects of ourselves, and which is also allowing things to bend, bending time literally is this timelines that have been placed, because our consciousness through the magnetic programming has held a lot of memories into place. So we're dismantling, and the only way you can dismantle it is through the power of this freedom, liberated state of love, because it no longer, the memory only is held magnetically together. That's it. So the minute that magnetic memory, you're able to sort of loosen it, and you're allowing a new software to come in within your system. So if you imagine each of these are different software program, and if you create that software, you reprogram it differently in here, then everything within the outer reality will correspond to this, because this is 10,000 times more powerful magnetically than the brain itself. This, even what's great is not that we need science to prove anything for us, but Heart Math Institute has been able to really demonstrate the power of that, so we can update our software, and it becomes easier because we're able to live from a different software. Like yesterday when my mom was so precious, my God, she's so cute. She'd made me lunch. She knows lunch I love. She said this specifically and busy running around. I was like, okay, I come over. And when I come, she changed the ingredients. It was not that. So it brought disappointment to me because not that I wasn't grateful or anything. It's just I was so excited to eat that. Then she changed it all around. So she came and it was still delicious, but it wasn't that. And that's what, like, she told me that, so that's what I was somehow like excited about. So when I was like, Mommy, if you make this, just don't give it a name because you've changed the ingredients. So my consciousness is there. So in her reality, I'm a problem maker, and I've always been a problem maker because I don't fit into, like, oh, you should be grateful. I said, no, I am grateful. I love what you make. It's just when you tell me that, that's what I'm excited about. And when I eat this, it's not like, if you just don't even tell me you're making that, I'll be happier. So somehow she a little bit hurt me, but it was still sweet. But she's like, I like Michael because Michael never complains. I was like, well, Michael doesn't know what difference is this stew versus this other stew.
Persian food is absolutely delicious, and Honey knows it by the exact strain. Point being is she did a very, very good job. It didn't trigger you.
Because I used my software, my golden sacred heart, my golden rose software, and it is the crystalline diamond body. So that way I address it, honoring myself, honoring my truth, but in the most beautiful way that she somehow received it, but she wasn't upset at what I said, and that's what it is. So together, collectively, we're going there. And when we have, like, let's say it's today, this stream flow that is so direct. And if I didn't get a chance to tell you, just 2 minutes, share what happened in my prayers today. In my morning prayer, when I sat in this space and just call upon and, being in my diamond, outer diamond, and calling upon everybody, it was so beautiful. When it came to the Ascended Masters, the Golden White Rose people, I had suddenly like, ding, 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 like this light bulb going. I was like, oh my God, they're all the rose holders because they're the Golden White Rose. So I saw, like, through the stream, there were all the Great White Brotherhood of Light, and I saw Golden White Rose in the entire universe, just floating and flowing. Divine Mother was like Divine Mother was just like this, spreading as the spiral was happening. This golden rose all like through the universe, planets, stars coming in. So I was playing with it, bringing it to Earth, spreading all over Earth, and of course America here.
I saw golden roses falling in the universe.
Yeah, totally.
There was a lot of spiraling.
Yeah,
a lot of those, like, roses, like, just as metaphorically moving throughout.
Totally. So I was bringing it here, just spreading it around. I was like, wow, look at all this. And I saw, wow, the Great White Brotherhood of Light. They're all like, that's what, because they have ascended to their Golden White Rose state. They're bringing the gold frequency through the purification. That's why they're named that, And it was so beautiful. Then I saw Mother Mary behind me holding a rose. Then I saw Yeshua and Mary Magdalene holding a rose, and I was in that middle of it. And I said, oh my goodness, they represent these first 3 petals. I'm in the center of it, and then me, my masculine and feminine, is in the next 2, and they represent the 3. So it was so beautiful experiencing the rose and inside, and like what's vibrating out. So yeah, so much just incredibleness. So tomorrow we bought all these roses, and for our event we're going to be doing a lot of rose. And today in our prayer, one of the things, if you saw earlier today, I was guided. So several years ago I taught a rose meditation class. And I didn't know why I was teaching it, but I taught it. And today it reminded me, because I felt like, as you saw earlier today, to just bless each of my chakras in certain places. And when I was in the meditation, I was doing that. Each part was very specific to broadcast greater these parts, because these are part of Earth's grids that's inside of my Earth that can blast this 33 petals of the rose golden light. So that's what I wanted to share with what was happening in my prayer today.
And so,
This is what Valerie said.
honey, are you just providing a mere reflection to your mother when you're honest and speak the truth? She doesn't see those qualities in herself.
No, I know.
Yeah,
it just, yeah.
Valerie, you know what's interesting? The families. I love them so much, because honey has this beautiful, beautiful, strong Persian family. And when I look at my ancestors and some of the strong Jewish, it's like the Italian, the very profound, strong values, the energies that are so strong that it can't not come along to trigger, to bring forth of what's being cleared in our ancestors. And we laugh at it all the time, because it's just
every time you do better, you're like, wow, this is getting better. It's getting better. Getting better.
And we know that it's those family members that are here. And even before I left yesterday, I'm like, honey, gateway. Like it's so interesting to see how much, and you're right, Valerie, strong women, same room. These women, I feel like in her family and my family, it has been the strong feminine that have held the course. And we see under that strong feminine, it's the power. It's the power that's rising. And I feel blessed in that power, because we see that in the rise of the feminine conscious right now, and how it's uplifting the world and dismantling. And it's such a joy to witness. Even yesterday when I came out and I looked up at the sky, and I don't know how you guys see, but do you ever notice like the sky or the clouds, they just have a different feeling? Like I look up and I'm like, wow, there's something going on in the universe. They're like these clouds, this atmosphere, there's something so powerful happening that we can't just rejoice and celebrate and really look at what's happening, because how amazing that we, all of us, chose this time period to come down, no matter how chaotic, no matter how crazy. We have chosen in this experiment as volunteers. This is the one thing that I remind myself when things start to get hard, especially when I started to look at the news yesterday, and I just called my mom, like, I can't look at the news anymore. It angers me about this war in the Middle East and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm a volunteer. I'm here to spread my light. Don't get lost in the 3D. We are here because we chose to come here for the biggest celebration in the whole universe, and it's this ascension. And as many times when we wake up and we laugh, or we go through the day and look at the magic, that's the area that I just keep reminding myself, especially during Stargates like this, of saying, okay, let the magic begin. From the trees blowing, from the sun coming in, from all those pieces that we can put our vision in.
And also the parts, like some of you watched last week, this insane feeling I had with this metallic taste, it's still there. And everywhere that I was trying to take the metallic taste and the funny things, or some of middle of the way we were, moving the energy, all of these are part of it. So what's important is no part is denied. The inner child is not denied. The teenager is not allowed. The adult is not denied. The elderly is not denied. All parts is allowed, because all parts of it is part of we're reclaiming back every part of ourselves to be the sovereign being. And I want to speak for a second to the chalice. The chalice, the well. The chalice well. Why chalice well in Glastonbury is so important? It represents the divine actual well. And it is that fluid, that light, that spring of that life force within us, where we are ourselves the holders. Be held. We're being held as the holders of this cup. And the cup, if you look at it, looks like that with these handles, and that represents the cymatics again. And what that is the sound resonance, and it is the sound resonance of your heart. So each of us are being, the cup is being given back to us. The divine sovereign state is reclaimed once we rejoice and reclaim that we ourselves are the Holy Grail. We are the chalice cup. There is no search on the land to go find this chalice cup, because the search has been inside, particularly these 7 years, to go so deep to find the cup that is constantly filling ourselves, with the stream of this golden liquid energy that feeds us, nourishes us, sustains us, and embraces us. And the clarity of it is very, very, very divine and pure. And I feel with that, if hi Demetrius, so much love.
Happy
welcome.
Summer solstice to you.
So much love. And I feel with that, if you would allow, I just feel while I'm speaking, I can feel this my inner cup and being filled.
The window, a little warm right here.
Okay, so it's getting heated, and I feel like I just want to welcome us for a moment. I'm just, it wasn't planned, but it's going in that place to go into this place, and let us just rejoice in here for a moment and breathe in and fill ourselves. And as I'll bring some sound transmissions in for this, light transmissions to help support this, that is for this StarGate, this Golden White Rose StarGate. So the inner rose is literally the center, where this cup is our own magical Holy Grail. So I invite you all to bring that. I'm going to hold maybe my rose in my heart, and if you have it, you can place it. If not, I would like to invite you to just place your hands in there. Let us take a couple of deep in-breath in and breathe out. What I would like to invite each of you to please visualize the center of your high heart, right in the center where this vertical axis is and the horizontal axis. There's this beautiful, illuminating, golden white rose that is not quite fully blossom and open, but is partially right in that center. All the tips of it are gold, and inside of it is white. And I just want you to start tuning to this breath of this golden Christ frequency and the golden, beautiful white, the purification ray inside of you. I just want you to really start breathing it in and breathing it out. And as you're doing so, just be very aware that your solar plexus also have this golden rose, white rose placed, right in your solar plexus chakra. And come on down, place it also in your sacral chakra. And come on down and place it also on your root chakra. And come on down your pranic tube, place it on your earth star chakra. And allow it to travel all the way down and connecting it with Gaia's beautiful golden white rose. And her unity, she's called again the unity flowers, the diamond flower. Allow that to just connect in, as that place from your heart is really anchored in your earth energy, going all the way down, earth, water, fire, going all the way down. As you breathe in, allow the breath to come in from the breath of Great Spirit. As you tune into this here, and start to really breathe in the place of this love in here, that golden, rosaline, purified light. and breathe it out. And with each breath, expand it out now, placing the same beautiful golden white rose right in your throat chakra. And next in breath, place it inside on your third eye. With next in breath, you take, place it on your crown chakra. And breathing in so it really opens up to its 1,000 petals. And then going up, placing it on your soul star chakra. Then placing it in your universal chakra. Placing your galactic chakra. Another golden, beautiful, dazzling white rose. And all the way up to your divine gateway chakra, placing it there. And I want you to just breathe in this place now. And breathe in this direct line from the 144 dimensions and all the way from source light. And this stargate that connects to the central sun, to our Helios Vestas, the central sun, and the galactic sun, all the way to source sunlight. And inside your beautiful golden dazzling white rose is also the illumination of that sun. And I want you to just breathe this in and allow the vibrations to just circle out with each conscious breath of love you take in and you breathe out. Allow it to pulse out naturally and just stay there as I'll begin working with a bit of this transmission in here. Unamidani breathing the spiral energy that is sprouting from the center of Gaia's unity, golden rose flower that spirals up your prana tube, coming up towards underneath you in your prana tube, going all the way up and spiraling out from your crown all the way up, creating a gigantic spiraling energy all the way spinning with the universe and galaxies all the way up to source light, pure golden dazzling white light. And as you breathe it out, you watch and witness the trickling particles of the golden white light coming all the way back down as it too is spinning downward, descending down, all the way back, pulling that magnetic field into the petals of the golden white rose, into the heart of Gaia. And as you breathe it out, again, you're breathing it in, it spirals, going up your prana tube all the way up again. And you breathe it out, spirals coming back down again, creating this magnificent spiraling tutorial field of magnetic gold and white petals all spinning around you. And it pulls them back in underneath you, draws it in from the heart of the golden rose, the golden white rose from Gaia, breathing that in again, spiraling it up, cleaning the product tube completely from all lifetimes or degrees, and allowing that to rain and shine upon you, breathing the scent, bringing the celebration of the cosmic Christ love in the universe, in all planets, all stars, all dimensions, all your bodies, all timelines, drawing it through all your molecules, all your cells, all your atoms, all your neurotransmitters. In the invocation inside, reclaiming that you are the golden rose. You are the crystalline golden rose. I am the crystalline golden rose. I am the crystalline golden rose. I am the crystalline golden white rose. Blessing myself and everyone with my crystalline, diamond, purifying, golden rose ray. Blessing all animals, blessing all humans, blessing all land, water, flowers and trees, deserts, sand, caves and coves, all sentient beings. Breathing that in, breathing that out, feeling the pulse of the golden white rose inside, and breathing that out in your horizontal field, your luminous light. Gratitude for the essence that is you, fully embraced by the golden rose, the great white brotherhood of light, blessing you, each of you, with a golden white rose in your heart. And may you be the carrier of this frequency, embraced, bedazzled, to carry the divine plan forward, reclaiming your truth as a sovereign being, as the holy grail that you are. And so it is. Breathing that out. Coming back, dear hearts, dear golden rose hearts. A golden kiss. Golden kiss. Thank you for those of you that stayed with us to experience this. So much love. Hope you were able to experience it. And if you just let us know how that was, as Michael will. Were you able to experience the vibration? Michael, did you experience it? The rotation of the golden rose? Yeah? Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Thank you. Yes, so much gratitude, Doreen, indeed. Thank you so much for watching. Such an honor. So I would love to know if you were able to experience this beautiful, good, Valerie. Thank you. Yeah, it felt like yeah, definitely. Feeling that golden rose, I could feel the vibration of the pulsing of the golden white rose pulsing out, and go more into this space in your own today, tomorrow, and next day. This 3-day window period and it's actually all the way to 8/8, the Lion's Gate. So perfectly amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you. Michael, anything you want to share?
It's just been an activating day. It was beautiful to feel the golden rose and feel the frequencies of the energy move through, and bring it back to the heart. It was really amazing to feel just those rays connect all the way.
Could you feel this? Because I felt the sound were going into spiral pulse, and it was the spiral pulse of each of like the petals. I don't know if you could hear it. I don't know if the sound was clear enough. I could feel this when it will go in and out as I was experiencing the rose.
Yeah, I felt the energy just kept spiraling, and as it was spiraling, it kept expanding and pulsing out. So it was interesting as you were saying.
Oh, good, Angela, you experienced it. Thank you.
So it was powerful. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So placing your hands over your heart, dear ones, as I bring a message from the angels today. Taking a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just listening from your heart as we read this message. Feel subtle energies.
Subtle energies?
Subtle.
Subtle. It's called subtle. Aw, you said it. No, that was, I didn't get it.
That's subtle?
Come
I
here.
thought subtle spelled S-U-T-T-L-E.
No, that's the other one.
Okay.
Aw, you're so cute.
I spelled it differently. Okay. Closing your eyes and feeling this message. Today, we'll focus on your sensitivity to other subtle energies. You can slowly run your hand close to your body and feel the power that it radiates. Every person, animal, and place emits vibrations. They're the feelings that you sense around individuals and in the rooms or other environments that you walk into. Your body discerns this energy as high, medium, or low level, or something in between. If the vibrations feel higher than your own, you'll very likely perceive the situation as pleasant. If they feel lower, you probably won't care for it. Today, notice your feelings in response to other people, animals, and locations. Run your hands over plants and objects and sense the energies that they emit. Enjoy the sensation of your increasing frequency, which is the basis of your natural spiritual gifts. Today's thought, repeat after me. I tune into the energies.
I tune into the energies
that I sense in my body.
that I sense in my body.
I honor my feelings.
I honor my feelings.
And trust their accuracy.
Trust their accuracy. Ah. Thank you. So we're also going to wrap this. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's hour 44. So let's see what the Ascension message of the cards are today. Again, like 2 weeks ago. Ready? Archangel Metatron's cloak. It's interesting. It's 51. Number 51. It's an honor to receive this card, for the cloak allows Metatron's energy to be held in your aura. It ensures that your 12 chakras are open and protect you from lower energies. This means that you can link to the 7th dimension of Hollow Earth and access the wisdom from the 4 Ascension planets. Walk tall and stand in your power. Wearing this cloak will help you guide others on their ascension path. You are called on to do this. Empower people to see who they are and what they are. The affirmation, please repeat after me. I stand in my power.
I stand in my power.
And lead others forward.
And lead others forward.
And so it is.
And so it is.
This is important because I feel we talked a lot about the 12 chakras today. That and especially the Hollow Earth, really we have to connect to this sacred unity flower, and this rose flower really gives you access quite a bit. So wow, what a beautiful pleasure that we got to be with you. I feel the only thing that I left out was that Wednesday when Michael wanted to do the video with Michael was invited to be on Stellar's representing the sacred divine masculine on the video, and he ended up going to change, but there was some funky time change between Google saying what time 4 o'clock is and what time is in Ireland. Anyway, so I ended up sitting in for Michael, which couldn't have been more perfect because I ended up being on the call and sharing with this sacred divine feminine. And it was so significant, the information received, so we can share it tomorrow. Also, we'll be sharing some of this with those of you who are on this call. And I would love, if you just email me, I would love to send you the PDF of this, as Stellar asked me to make it available. This has to do with the divine rose. And afterwards, Michael and I got on the video call with Stellar and her beloved John, and
we were laughing because it was
so
supposed
much
to be an interview, but as divine time always works, it was aligned for HoniB because of the just miscommunication of when the time was, what Google said, the time-hour difference, and the lesson to always learn that when there are these beautiful live transmissions, to accurately realize what hours are in between our time frames, because as we know, when the timelines are basically crumbling down, these time hours and zones get really funky in between. So we just laughed and laughed of what time we thought we were supposed to be on, and the real time difference, and what Google said was the real time difference. And before the end, we were like, well, what is the time difference between Ireland? And one said 4 hours, one said 5 hours. I was supposed to be on 4. She came on at 3. I was going from the gym. All of this just beautiful
And the
energy.
beautiful thing was we got to be the 4 of us, and really this sacred divine masculine that is standing behind the sacred divine feminine, so that the energy of the sacred divine feminine can really come forward. This crystalline golden white rose StarGate today really represents the merging of that within us, and ownership of our sovereign state, ownership of our divine self, of our holy self, of our Christ itself, of our avatar self, and also each of us being that beautiful, amazing holy grail already. So where we can fill it up with this golden liquid Christed frequency and outpour it into the universe through ourselves. So that I feel is the most important thing. And I love to, again, what was shared with us, to share it with those of you who joined us. If you can just please email me, honeyb1111@gmail.com. I love to make this available for you. And the other part of it, Michael and I, a week from today, will be on Todd and Morgan's Soology show next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And this is all about the sacred divine alchemy that we really focused on through our union in sharing and serving. So we'll be on. We love to see you on there. And those of you who are coming tomorrow, we're so grateful. A bunch of them are preparing for tomorrow. We still got a bunch of errands to run to wrap it up, as it's going to be super powerful because it's very focused on this ley line and transmuting some of these and bringing this purity and this to the Yeshua Magdalene Codex. And we're so grateful that we were able to share this day with you. What a great grace it is that we get to have this platform. Demetrius, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Demetrius, you're just always so gracious with your generosity. You're always with us. Look, your statue is behind there on our altar, because your vibration is from London to here, is always with us. And I want you to know how much we celebrate you. And you're holding the fort down there, and bless you. Doreen, Angela, Valerie, my goodness, thank you. Doreen, thank you. We cannot wait till we see you. Thank you so much. I don't know who else was on the call. Angela, thank you so much for being with us. And
Higher Heart.
I don't remember what your name was. If you can just
Marsha, thank you.
Your name, Marsha.
Early.
Thank you so much, Marsha. We're so excited to see you. No, of course.
Megan, thank you, Megan.
Thank you,
Denise. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us, and just gratitude as we end this. May you fully walk in this light of love. May you just enjoy every part of your divine human experience as you bring in the divine in, and sharing it so generously just by your presence. Allow your I am presence to really walk today. We're so grateful to you.
Thank you, Larry. Have a
Thank
beautiful
you.
Summer solstice, beautiful day. We look forward to seeing you very soon.
Please do drink a lot of water. Aho namaste, in lakesh, banuresh, hash hash.